Okay, it's me today on Product Like It's Friday. We're Maryless today because Mary is out in the world living her life. And she's left it to us to try and uh, left it to us, me, left it to me and our zero viewers to proceed with Product Like It's Friday. Typically, we had been working on Cocoon, which was a mental health suite of apps, and we started with a mood journaling app. We're continuing on that, but we took a quick break to work on this Whose Breakfast Is It Anyway app. And today, I'm not going to be continuing with Cocoon. I'm going to be trying out a different app that I've been wanting to build for years. Many years ago, I started working out again at home, and I wanted to track my workouts. And so I used the Strong app, which I like a lot, except for a number of issues which I dislike a lot. And so in my mind, I've just been thinking about, hey, like I need an app that does slightly different things. Now, I have not been working out all this time, all these years. I have mostly been, on and off, depending on how things go. Recently, I have started working out again. And I'm tracking my workouts using Strong. And I like it for the most part, again, except for the parts I really, really, really find annoying. And so that's what I want to address today. I'll also will be trying to do it using Claude Code and vibing through as much as I can. Maybe 100%, maybe 90%. We'll see what happens, and we'll go with the flow. So let me begin by sharing my screen. And here you see it. I have, this is kind of my prep work. I started with some screenshots of the app itself to demonstrate maybe what's annoying me. I didn't take screenshots of some other points maybe that I could have. But effectively, Strong has the concept of workouts and workout templates, and then obviously exercises, and then sets within exercises. And the idea is that you create a template for a workout, or you just create a workout, and then maybe you create a template from the workout, and then you create the workout from the templates. And you're following these patterns of workouts. Maybe you have a push day, a pull day, and a leg day. You create those templates, and then you do those exercises, which is largely how I was using it. However, I find it too strict for my taste. Oh, wait, I can put my face here. Hold on. However, I find it too strict for my taste in terms of the way I work out. I'm a very sort of vibe-based workout person. Not very, but sometimes. Where let's say I am doing a pull day, so I'm doing my lat pull downs, and I'm at the gym. Let's say I'm at a public gym or whatever, a paid private gym, whatever. I'm at a gym. There's other people there, and the lat pull down machine is like, it's there's a long line. So I'm like, today I'm not going to do lat pull down. So I don't, either have to delete this exercise, or I have to leave it like this and then add a new one. Except, well, does me removing this change my template? Does me adding the new exercise change my template? It asks me to. At the end of it, it'll be like, do you want to create a template for this workout? Except I want my workouts to be fairly fluid, very, vibey. I'm like, okay, well, this machine's not available, or maybe I'm not feeling like this exercise, but I don't want to get rid of it from the template because I might do it the next workout session, the next pull day, I might do it. And so what I really want is a fluid setting where I have the option to select or to put to sleep. I'll come up with a better word. Maybe kind of inactivate a certain exercise for a particular workout without it impacting the whole template. And then I kind of have a collection of pull exercises that I like, and I might mix and match on any given workout day what I want. So I might create a pull day workout, a push day workout, and a leg workout. And fine, that's it. That's, I'm working with that, and I don't have to do every single exercise in pull day. I can inactivate them, and only I'll do the active ones. And even as I'm working out, I might say, if my machine's so busy, let me deactivate. Let me deactivate lat pull down and let me do rows. But let's say I try and finish a workout, and here's what I find very annoying, is it'll either ask me to complete the unfinished sets. Well, I didn't do the sets. Or it'll ask me to discard the unfinished sets. And then a screenshot I didn't take that really annoys me is it'll ask me to create a template. And now when I don't want to create a template because I want my templates are fixed, right? So I want my template to be fluid. Well, no, you're not going to give me that. And then when I'm modifying more workout, that also won't be fluid because you either want me to complete the unfinished sets, I didn't do them, or you want me to discard the unfinished sets. And unfortunately, when I go back to start that workout or replicate that workout or go back from the template, then my suite of exercises that I want for pull day aren't available to me. Literally, because of the way I am, I will forget that I had an exercise in circulation. And because it's not on my app, I'll totally forget about it. Until I remember, I'm like, I'll add it again. But then maybe one time I miss it or I don't do it, then you want me to discard the unfinished sets. So you want me to delete the exercise. If I'm like I don't have a theory of mind. I'm like a baby without a theory of mind. If I can't see it, it doesn't exist. And I fall into that trap, and it gets in the way of my workout experience. And so that's really there are some other issues which are less of a deal. For example, if I have something like if I'm doing a plank, I don't want to switch to my timer app. I just want the timer built in here in the same way that it has like weight between sets. I want to be able to have a timer for certain type of exercises like planking. Other things I don't love, for example, if I'm doing, let me see if I took a screenshot. No, I didn't. But let's say I'm using a machine, and typically I have been using machines at the gym just for how controlled they are. And except like, let's say I'm doing a leg curl, like for the hamstring, like you curl in, not, extension, that's curl. So I'm doing a seated leg curl. That's the one. The machine's kind of designed so you do both legs at the same time, except I'm trying to rehab my knee. And so I want to do one at a time so I get focused attention on that one leg. I don't really have a way of representing that here, where I have to do it. I would love to be able to say, oh yeah, I did this leg, check. And then I did the other leg, check. Now that's like a wish. I'm not going to get into that, but these are the kinds of things as I'm using the Strong app, I'm like, ugh. But really the main issue is this. And then these I screenshotted because we're not going to necessarily copy the app wholesale, although in a second I'm going to search for some screenshots of some other workout apps so we can get some inspo, as the designers like to say. I actually don't know what the designers say. We're going to get some inspiration. Do the kids say inspo? Who says inspo? So we're going to for some inspiration. But what would be helpful is this breakdown as we're creating exercises in this new workout app that we're going to create, that we have these available. And then based on each one of these, it changes the options here. So for example, if I'm doing cardio, it gives me, kilometers or miles or whatever. And then Whatevs? Do the kids say whatevs? Do the designers say whatevs? Or whatever. And a time. So in this case, I'm walking, but I don't care about how far I'm walking. I just care about the time. Or I'm cycling and so forth. So that's sort of the breakdown of what I intend to do. And so I have a pretty decent thing to replicate. Again, not going to try and copy wholesale, although because this is in front of me, we're probably going to copy to a good degree, but really we're fixing this problem of discarding. I want a very fluid workout environment. There's another app that I've tried, which is called Heavy. And maybe there are screenshots of this app. What's this AI overview for screenshots? Like, shouldn't that be images? Which is very similar. I mean, like, these apps aren't, they're not trying to rebuild the world. They're very similar apps. So the idea of copying is a little weird when really, you could just use a spreadsheet to record some of these. But at the end of it, being able to track your progression is nice. It's a super important thing. And then I won't be building out any features that I'm really not using at the moment. It's going to be hyper-focused on trying to build what I want. So, for example, I actually really like this, but it also makes me laugh sometimes, is when you look at exercise, they give you this little GIF here, which you can play. It'll show you how the exercise is done. Very useful. But it makes me laugh because they have one for cycling. And they have this guy, with like his, I don't know if I can get in here. I don't know what site this is. But this guy and his muscles are like, you can see the muscle kind of activation because this exercise is going to work out your back, your biceps, and so forth. And he shows the guy's legs activated as he's cycling. And I'm like, okay, I guess that's how you cycle. Heavy is an app I've tried as well and not loved. It tries to lean in heavy on like the social aspect. As you can see, Philip versus Mario. And then they want you to share your workouts, which I kind of want to do from time to time. So maybe we'll look at that if we ever get something built, and then I might look around and copy some other features as I like them. But for now, I just want to be able to, this is the heavy side. I just want to be able to record my workouts without feeling lost, without being upset. That's the goal. The other thing that frustrates me is before the workout, or pre-workout, as the kids say, pre-game, before the workout, I might think, an exercise that I don't have in my workout will come to mind. I'm like, I should add it. And I want to be able to do that through the web because I'm on my computer. I'm working on my phone somewhere. I don't know. And I just want to be able to do that on my computer super easily on a website. But I have to go to my phone, find the app, and do it there. I'm an old man with eyes that are getting weaker by the minute. And so I want to use my computer. They don't have that. I want to see my progression on my computer. Can't do it. So I wouldn't mind being able to make a web app that maybe is a PWA. I haven't figured it out. Right now, all I care about is building a web app on the web that will record my workouts and allow them to be fairly fluid. Okay, so having rambled on there, let's get into the coding bits. So here I'm going to use dgit and use my Next template app, which is outdated because I'm using Next 3 and not Next 4. And we'll call it outwork. Get it? Work out. And I took the words and I jumbled them. I jumbled them good. So it's going to be called outwork. Let's dgit that. Let's get into outwork. Let's get in it. Git add and git commit -m, the classic initial commit. And I'll tmux this, and we will. This is my app. This is my app. Let me see just because I haven't I have started a new app in a bit, but let me take a look at Cocoon to see whether I need to copy over this N file, which I don't even see here. Am I just losing my mind or something else at play? Not here. Maybe I placed it in source. Also no. Can I just do a find and grab .env? That's useless. Absolutely useless. That's weird. I would have thought I would have found it there. Let me go on whose game is it, which I did a similar process with. And there is an N file here, and I should probably copy this. And we could just call it development.db. And I should also be able to look at the package.json and see that I have a db migrate. So I should be able to do pnpmi. Let's install the modules. Maybe I should make this larger. Let's install the modules pnpm db migrate, just so we have that database set up and I know that it's working. So I'm in my TMX already, so I can do pnpm dev, and it's on port 3000. So I can copy that here, load it up here, and we have an app. Okay. Now I do want to use Claude for this. So maybe I can get in this new window, open up Claude, and then, yeah, you have permissions here. Open up another window just in case I need to look at the code or do any work here. So what are we going to tell Claude? I want to build a workout app step by step. It'll be called. I know it's very particular with Mary about keeping the prompts very precise, but I'm going to play around a little bit to see if I can learn something. Oh no, I'm going to keep it precise, except for when I'm making jokes. It'll be called at work. Get it? Sorry. I did that preamble just because I wanted to make this stupid joke. But don't build anything out all at once. I will build it. Model. I will give instructions bit by bit, and I will test in between, and then give further instructions. How does that sound? Like I'm trying to get it, I'm trying to get a buy-in from my eager developer that wants to develop everything all at once. See, now it's praising me, which I know I was kind of expecting that if I express neediness to the AI, it would deliver by praising me. So already better than my coworkers, really. Okay, sounds great. I'm ready to build. So give me your first instruction. I'll implement it, and I'll wait for your feedback. My first is take a look at the repo so you understand the packages available. And here I'll go around looking at, we're using Prime View, we're using Nuxt, we're using Keasley, and so this will help it get attuned. And then I'm going to think about what I want first. So I want to be able to come into my app and create a workout. But first I need exercises that I can add. So I want to be able to add exercises, and I want some exercises there. So maybe we could start with adding exercises as a base default. Let's start with adding exercises. exercises. And then the reason I'm stopping to think a bit here is I'm wondering whether I just screenshot this and say, hey, this is how, but maybe I can ask it and we could cheat. Do you know how the Strong app creates exercises? Like what options it provides? So we're just being very conversational at the moment, and this is me kind of playing around. I'm just curious to know if it knows, and seems like it does. So it knows so it doesn't know Strong app, it says, but it says, hey, here's some common ways. So exercise name, yes. Category, type, equipment needed. Let's do exercise name. I know I pressed enter by mistake. Dash is not necessary. Let's do exercise name. Category. I'll provide options here. And then body part. I'll provide options here. The type can be determined by the category, because that's essentially what Strong app is doing. Got it. I'm being very like, hey, do you agree or not? Do you agree? But like, do you get it or whatever? Because I'm trying to experiment. I haven't done this pattern before too much, but I'm trying to experiment whether it goes kind of super eager or whether this helps in getting some kind of a agreement first. So it says it's got it. And in here, maybe I can just copy. What happens if I copy? This is copy as an image. What did it say? Command Control Shift 4. Command Control Shift 4. I think I need 2 hands to be able to press that. And I think this goes directly into the clipboard. And this is body part screenshot. Just trying to help it. It should be able to read it. And let's see if it extracts appropriately so even it says error reading files. And then I will do the same thing here. Use my 10 fingers on my left hand to press the shortcut and paste here. Here we won't be helpful, and we'll see what it does. It started doing some coding changes, migrations, and initial setup, which is fine. We can iterate, but I wonder how it'll proceed. I haven't really eaten yet, and I don't have any food here, but I do have this, which I guess this is what we'll be doing. I'll just be sipping while it's coding. Actually, the idea that I had was, and maybe I might do this on a non-product like it's Friday session, which, by the way, I might take the app here and just do it in a non. Like we'll do PLF. We'll continue working on Cocoon because I think there's like a lot more we can do there. But maybe this app, if I find the motivation, I might stream, or I might just do it off stream and just get it done. What was I going to say? But if I am doing it on stream, I thought maybe, like, what am I doing while I'm waiting for this? And I thought maybe I could just play chess, like on stream. And I'm not good at chess. I've been trying to get good for many years, maybe 3 years now, on and off. And turns out I'm just an addict. Like I just play chess because I'm addicted to it, but I'm not improving. And not that I'll improve if I broadcast myself playing chess. I'll probably just be as bad because I'm practically kind of playing chess in between doing other things, which is really bad. The focus you need to learn and grow is not. I'm not giving it that. I did give it that for a certain portion of my life, but I haven't been lately, and it's just been like just addiction. But maybe that's good enough. Maybe I just like while this is happening on this, I'm just playing chess, just clicking drag in pieces, and then when it's done, I come back here and go, okay, let's go, and then I prompt, and then I play chess, and maybe sometimes I have to prompt while the chess game is going on, and I lose the game. I run out of time. That's just the way life is. You can't have everything, and certainly you shouldn't. Okay, so let's see what it has done. Just double checking. We already have the app started. Not sure if I need to restart it here, but if I go here now, great. It has this exercise list. It has add exercise. Something weird happened there. So when I came here, clicked add exercise, and then nothing happened on that first run, but it seems to be fine now. And then here I could say something like, let me actually go to Figma and get. And here I might even reference my phone from time to time to see what exercises I've been working on. Lat pull down cable. So I might say lat pull down cable. And this is a machine, right? It's not barbell, it's not dumbbell, it's not body weight. It's machine other. And my body part is the back. Save exercise. Sweet. Doesn't want to list the exercise here, but when I refresh, it also does not want to list the exercise. So let's report that bug. Let's try and see, actually, because I did refresh. I might have lost the errors, if any occurred. So here I won't bother being too particular. I'll just... So don't see any errors. So I do see this shadow here, which means the exercise has been created, but the there's no... So I'll use my octopus hand to press the shortcut of taking a screenshot, and I'll say after exercise is created, it shows divs but no text in them. I don't know if that's descriptive enough or useful, but let's see. And now I'm considering like opening up that chess situation. Data is in the database, as we thought. Why are you looking for... Oh, no. Yeah, why are you looking for an environment file? Okay, that's fine. See, this is the thing. What am I supposed to do now? Just twiddle my thumbs? I can twiddle my thumbs. Bring them on screen. Is this twiddling? Is this how the kids are twiddling their thumbs? Yeah, like what is this? So I might actually, on my other screen, I'm just looking for the appropriate browser I might be able to use in order to generate chess. Look at it trying to debug. I think this stuff is kind of pretty cool, which I really like. I've added debug output to help me see what's returned, refresh the exercise page, and check. And I wonder if there's a way of connecting. There must be a way of connecting this Nux server to Claude so that it runs it and is able to even see this output or what have you. So I'm just going to copy this from your debugging. So here, it just doesn't know, like, I think it's used Prime View to do this, because where else, like, did it just, maybe it didn't. Okay. Say, great, I see it now. Give me the option to delete exercises, but don't make it easy to delete. No, the issue was you. It wasn't the card component, my friend. It was you who has the knowledge of the world, but does not know which slot to use. So while that's happening, let's take a look. I think I also want edit. And I like what the Strong app does. It doesn't let you edit the category and the body part, but it does let you edit the name. I also want an edit, but don't let me edit the, but I can edit only the name of the other fields. I won't press enter just yet because it'll queue it up. And I don't want to move forward until it's done what it's doing. I've tested it, and then I want to give it the next command. So I'm just going to go back here and try and set up the chess browser. Maybe I'll be able to see my chess score. My chess rating right now is 1,049. Okay. So I have delete, hold to delete. I'm holding. Delete, it's gone. It didn't really make it hard to delete, but I won't worry about it too much right now. Let's give it this command, and then let's experiment with this chess play thing. I don't know. I'm curious to see what that experience for me is like, and how disengaging it is. Just to watch somebody vibe code. I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like watching myself vibe code. I don't, you know what I mean? What am I doing? Maybe I should, on the side, learn how to code. While it's coding for me, I'm just learning how I could have done it myself. I like that idea. I don't know. I actually haven't seen any streams where, or even video. Well, I've seen some videos, but they're cut, so you don't see this like very uncomfortable, or the air of discomfort where you're just watching someone wait while the machine slowly codes. I mean, on net it's faster, I get it, but it feels slow in the moment because I don't feel like I'm doing anything. This is a lot to be able to edit, but that's fine. It is what it is. And here's kind of one of the differences, I suppose, between using something like Replit or using something like this, which is it shows you the diffs here, whereas Replit kind of collapses it, and you have to actively click if you want to see it. Machine other and back. Let's save this exercise. So I have this edit here, and it's just giving me this. That's fine. No big deal. we're going to ask it to commit, because I should have probably asked it to commit a while ago. And you might say, hey, bro, are you so lazy? Are you so into the vibe, the vibing waves, that you're not even going to like git add and git commit yourself? And my answer to that is yes. That's me. Let it commit. That's why I'm paying $3,000 a month for Claude Code. I'm not paying that much for Claude Code. Okay, so we're adding exercises. One of the things I wanted to do is, can you add a set of machine/cable exercises for me? Actually, so I pressed escape here. Create a JSON file of preset exercises can be loaded. That's really what I want, and then I want to load them, and then that's kind of the like, let's say you did sign up for this app, you see some preset exercises. That's what you get with heavy and strong, and then that's what I want here. One of the underrated features of using agentic AI is to not just have it write tests, which we're not doing, but to have it, populate your database with test data. So great. But also so time consuming. So I want to see how I can begin to play chess. Honestly, that's all I'm thinking now. I'm like, what am I doing with my life where I am not even coding? I'm talking about code, but I'm not coding, and I'm just waiting for the machine to code for me. Who am I now? What is the meaning of life? Oh, that's interesting. It's kind of loading it from here via the router. I'm okay with that. Am I okay with that? I don't know. I don't know what it's doing. I see it's adding some import presets. I don't love that. But also, I'm not going to fight it. Because then I have to be like, hey, because I mean, like it'll make do. Well, I do want some data. I don't want to spend too much time generating it. And this is already a lot of time, I feel. I could be playing chess right now. Okay, that's it. We're doing it. Because I just don't know how it's going to work with me trying to play chess. And then, okay, fine, we're here. It's import presets, and now it has a bunch of machine-based exercises here for me. And I notice here I do want to be able to search. So I'm going to ask it to commit, and then I'll say I want to be able to search by name, body part / category. And now I will queue up this prompt because I don't, the commit prompt I don't care about per se. So yeah, how do I do that? How do I, because what I want is to start my chess game and then have the, can I just maybe get a little peek here? Oh, one of the things, and then do this, and then do that. No. Okay, fine. Did it just eat my prompt? Because I don't see the feature, and it just ate my prompt. It did nothing. So I would have just been playing chess. Because when I do this, now I got this. Then I do this, I got this. But then I want this in the background, and I don't know how to do it. I'm not, I'm not good at this. So maybe we'll do this. Maybe we'll pull it in here. That's enough for me to see. what am I doing with my life? This is enough for me to see whether it's done or not. Then I can just play my chess game here. I can see the app here. Yeah, like, look, every second I'm not playing, I'm wasting my time. Like, because I don't know how long this is going to go for. But then once I start a game, and then it finishes, and I want to give it the next thing, I'm going to go here. I want to play this, which is a waste of a move, and then jump here. Let's just go there. I could have also gone here. I don't know what that means. Maybe you want to go here. Debating between developing or castling. I'm just going to castle and then come back here. Let's see. You say you've added it. Let's see if you have. And then crunch. Amazing. And then I can search by whatever here. But body part is probably what I'm going to. I want to work on my back. And then I have these bunch of exercises that I could do. Okay, let's ask it to commit. And then let's think about the next step I want is to be able to create a workout. And then I want to be able to add exercises to that workout. Next, I want to be able to create a workout and then add exercises to the workout and track my sets. I am giving it extra, but I'm fairly confident that this is a fairly standard pattern. Like, it may be thrown off a little bit, but hopefully not by a whole lot. This is a lot. Typically, I would not want to do this much at once. And I might backtrack if I don't like what I saw here. So it's gone here. Gives it access to here, 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 here. Can I go here? It'll go here. Maybe I can develop here. I think I also have this now because this is being defended by that. If you take here, I go here. Then you have there. So I can take this instead, which protects this. I could go here. It might come down here. That's fine. And out here, it's just coding for me. I like this, by the way. I get to play chess, and the machine codes for me. Big fan. Am I improving at chess? No. I could be learning chess, But even that needs quite a bit of focus. So it's done this. Super interesting because all the pawns are out. And maybe it's okay for me to sacrifice. Not that specifically. Maybe it would have been okay for me to sacrifice here, here, here. Or here. Here, here. And now this has happened, unfortunately. So if I go here, you're going to take I'm going to take, and then you're going to take. That's no good. I would have to take here. So I'm probably going to lose this. I might. Yeah, I've not set myself up here for success, as they say. So I could go here. Take, 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 take. That's fine. What if I just go here? No. Yeah, this is, I work myself into a bind here because of my lack of skill. Maybe they're an advantage because they haven't castled, and maybe I should have taken this pawn earlier. And look at that time disparity. This is going to get done soon, and then I'm going to have to take a look. What do I want to do? You're going to come here. I'm going to go here. That's happening. So might as well. Let me go here, here, here. I don't even know. I mean, I know how to play chess. Like, I know the moves, but I don't know how to, play chess. You don't want to. Prophylaxis doesn't want to. Prophylaxis, by the way, is a move, or like not a move, but a pattern in chess. If I go here, you can take, that's fine. If I also go here, it opens up this, which may or may not be good. Let's see. I'm keeping an eye on here. It's saying it's done things. Maybe I can refresh here to see what has happened. Because this page, there's no way for me to get. So I don't know where it's, where it has the ability to create those workouts. So yeah, makes sense. And maybe I could just come back here. Probably should have done that just for development purposes, but okay, fine. It's not the worst thing in the world. While Claude Code is infusing, and I am waiting. I expect to see some kind of like start workout or create workout thing here, but we'll see. And then one of the traps of this is it's going to create this workout and sets pattern in the way that typically is done. And so I might have to I may either have to just play around with it, see what it's doing for me, and then back out entirely, or see if it's worth modifying. I wonder what this person's waiting on for so long. Like I understand why I was thinking for so long, because one, I got myself into a bind here. But if their intent was to go here, then why aren't they just taking this? I have a check here, which is not, doesn't do much, I don't think. No, I could take here, and that prevents me from opening this up, but the pawns are so down as well. But let me just do it because I don't have a whole lot of time. And I'm already into this API error business, which I don't know what's going on here. But theoretically, maybe there's like a workout page. Nope. Don't know. Nice guess, but it's not. So now they've doubled their pawns here. Is there a way I can take advantage of this? If I go here, Bring my rooks into the center. I hear that's good. I saw someone say that's good. But if this API thing happens, then maybe just like, oh, now I feel weird because I just realized I'm in a P lift technically, right? So like, why am I playing chess in a P lift? One wonders. Can I bring this out here and go here? Should I bring this out here? You're gonna go down here. I'm gonna go up here. You're still gonna come over here, and then I have nowhere to go. So, and I don't have that much time to think through all those options. And now my problem is this is exactly what what happens in real life too. Like when I'm doing something and playing chess is like this will happen, and then this will get complicated. So completed, and so I want to look into it, and then when I'm doing that, my game. So now do I focus on the game, or do I focus on the app I'm building? You can't have everything. That's what I always say. See that flash? I think that's just the app getting used to it. So name notes. So I want to say pull day. No notes, create. And there's more flashes here, but that's fine. It created okay, so now it's my turn. Oh, I don't know why I didn't consider just taking in the first place. Probably because of this business, but it's fine. I have 20 seconds. I'm going to lose. Start workout. Okay, so I could create a workout. I could start a workout. No exercise has been added. The add exercise button seems to be struggling here. So we'll maybe get to that in a second. Yeah, this is not a great experience where I have to, if I'm caring about my chess game, this really is terrible. So, I might just finish off this one chess game. I like the idea. In my heart, I really like the idea of being able to do this, but practically it's like now you're watching a chess game and maybe we should be coding or what we're not coding, but we should be vibing. Okay, so I have a bug here. When I select, and I have a bug here because I'm not good at this. Okay, we lost. Now this is coming off screen because but what am I supposed to do when it's coding? You can't win. Okay. So let me take a screenshot of this and say, well, let me paste it first, and then let me get this. I get this error when I try to add an exercise to work out. And hopefully it fixes it by itself. And now, see, I want to play chess. I also don't know what this error means. Request size exceeds model context window. This is like turning out to be a pretty horrific experience. Maybe that was my fault of giving it too many things to do. But I don't know. Let's see if it's able to figure out. Let's give it the prompt again, because why am I getting this Claude error? Okay, so I guess I'm just going to have to Google this. Is it the image? So maybe I can say, can't be the image. That's not. Is it this? No, that's just text. So I can say, I get this error when I try to add an exercise to a workout. That's not a lot of lines. You should not be giving me an error here. That's fine. Let me get out. Let me go back in. So maybe I'm losing some context, but let's try and replay this. So now the question is whether it's a context issue or whether it's, but now it does have to try and go find out what's happening and learn the app. I'm a bit surprised I ran into this error this soon into building this thing out, but let's see. So I want to be able to add a bunch of exercises. And then there's a whole bunch of things, right? Like as I never added these exercises to pull day, but I have them here. Why? Okay, let's refresh here. Let's look at our pull day. Has all these exercises, which I want to delete. Maybe I just created it. Oh, yeah, maybe just create a new workout. Say push day. And now I have this. I refresh. I can add an exercise. Can I select multiple? What happens when I click on the exercise? Yeah, this experience is rather frustrating. Sorry. There's too many errors. Undo to the last commit. Now we're going to do step by step. I've learned my lesson. I really thought this is a very classic pattern. Don't worry about it. But not worth it. So I got my exercises here. I got this here. I do want now, just because I've done that, to remove my dev DB, to DB migrate again, create a new database, start my server, come back up here. This should be empty, and I should be able to import presets again. And now I have this. And now we're back to where we were before I started playing my chess game. Serves me right. Now I want to be able to create a workout with a name. So keep it super simple. Precise prompts is really the way to go. And I think any deviation teaches us a lesson. Don't do it. Because it's too much to debug. I don't even know if I was going to look at the code, where to even start debugging. Like where there's just no... But this also seems fairly slow as things go. But I mean, look, it is what it is. It is doing this workout exercise business. But I don't see anything for sets. So already it's doing maybe a bit more than I want. I just wanted to be able to I just want to, so it's done. I see exercise set and workout exercise. So maybe all that was for nothing. Like maybe I need to be even more precise. I don't like how I can't go back here, but maybe we'll ask it later. It's like navigate to this page. I'm gonna get, so it's done. It's built the same UI for me, which is questionable, which means no, it was in its heart. It was in its heart. So undo to the last commit. So we're going to get it to hard reset, but the problem is it hasn't changed its context. So we're going to exit. We're going to come back and give it this instruction. Now I want to see just experimentally whether it ends up building pretty much the same thing, except I got to quit again. Sorry. I got to remove the dev DB. Come back here. Let's clot it up. Let's refresh here. Let's load exercises. No, failed. Oh, because I didn't. It's my fault. Now this should work. And now we're back. This is frustrating to be able to go through this again and again, but now experimentally, let's see whether it does something slightly different or whether it, goes full force into it. Now it does seem that it's doing something a bit more controlled. No, here's what happened. I got to stop this. I think these files just never removed, and so they were just reused. So when I said, oh, reset or like undo to the last commit, it actually didn't really undo to the last commit. So I'm going to have to do all of this again. And then additionally, is that enough? I think I need to do this. And now it's clean. And I will have to restart this. And then again, do this business of importing presets. And then get into Claude again, clean context, and this, and now it has to figure out things. And so now I wonder whether it takes this literally or not. So will it start creating other joining tables? Will it start creating sets? So now it's trying to see whether the concept exists. It doesn't. See, it's got to get like all this data about what things we're using, which is why when I started this, I said, hey, take a look at the app. But I wonder what that does to the context size and how it impacts it. And now I do really want to just play chess while it's doing this. Because what am I going to say? So now it does seem like it's focused more on the workout. It's what I should have done to begin. Lesson relearned. I did what I did think was, hey, this is a fairly standard pattern. Highly standard, highly common pattern. Millions of people have made millions of workout apps throughout history. And I thought, hey, don't worry about it. That's not what I thought. I was actually also curious to see whether it would leverage that and give us something usable. But time and time again, precise prompting is validate it again. So now at least it's giving me, it's not going to tell me to go to this page or what have you. Hopefully it's going to add a create. Yeah, there you go. A workouts thing where I can go and I can add a workout. I can add a pull day workout and that's it. And now nothing, I could change the name and that's it. That's not bad. It is having some issues, maybe because I didn't change my database. Like maybe I should have redeleted my database. Like it's doing the visiting in the browser. That's super interesting. It's also created a test workout on its own. Like this is where I do really like the direction AI can take, because it's self-testing, it's building, it's doing all that business without me necessarily having to get too involved. But I'm not sure what it's doing now. It's looking for TypeScript errors. That's slow. Like, I think that's fine. Let's not worry about the TypeScript errors. Let's get you to commit while I type in my next prompt. Which is give me the ability to navigate back to home from the other pages. Because that's annoying. And then the next thing I wanted to do, and maybe I can queue this prompt as well, which is I want to be able to add exercises to a created workout. So now it says add navigation buttons. That's amazing. Just paste this straight up to see whether it's able to determine what's happening. It's just and now it's interesting because it's like, hey, let me continue with where you interrupted me. And can I now go here? And yeah, okay, we got that home button. Very thrilled with that. And now we should hopefully be able to add exercises to a workout. Kind of taking it super step by step. Let's see how far it's gotten. Like, does it care about sets yet? Add, remove exercises. That's great. Update workout list to link to details page. I don't know what that means. Oh, details. Got it. So there's a workout details page, which is the workout page. Okay, yeah. I mean, that's fine. Add UI to add, remove exercises from workouts. And now I'm thinking, should I be playing chess? It's what I want to do in my heart. But then I'll create this like dynamic where I lose the game because I'm going back and forth. To be honest, I enjoy it. I just don't know if it's a good use of streaming time. This is going to be the worst PLIF episode thus far. Because not only will we not have a workout app built, we'll have spent most of this with me just yapping and watching the AI code. And then also I'm losing chess games while that's happening. So just the whole enterprise is just very, very sad. But again, what am I supposed to do in this moment? So maybe when this completes, yeah, you know what? I'm okay losing these chess games. My rating's gone to, I'll be like escape, and I'll say, I'll do the testing. You just run the migrations. Although I might have pressed Control C too soon. I don't like this because this is running why did you run the db migrate command? And based on its answer, we might have to, I'll start the DB from scratch. I'll just do it and then I'll let you know. Sorry. Come back out here, refresh. I should just have 0 workouts. And now I should be able to go here, exercises, import my presets, go back out here, create a workout, have it be pull day, save, and now I'm here. Here, I should be able to go here now and be able to add exercise. It's giving me all the options here, which I don't love, but let's see what it does. This is nice, so I can sure. I mean, it doesn't matter right now. And then if I add 3 sets, 8 reps, what's this going to do? The edit button does nothing. I don't like this necessarily. Okay. Yeah, so I don't like at all what it's done with what it's done with this. So now maybe I'll have to think about how I want to associate a type with a category. And I probably should be able to tell that directly. I don't like how you have that add exercise form. Here are a few notes. And now I might be getting, too deep. But again, I kind of want to see. You should infer the sum of the exercise options from the category. For example, duration, time, barbell, weight, cardio, distance, and time. Don't worry about sets for now. We'll add those later. At the same time, I don't know whether it will quite know what to do with this information. So that'll be interesting to see. And here, maybe I should have copy pasted the strong app, and it might have done something more direct. Still don't like what's happening here with sets and reps, etc. Like, and this is why I kind of wanted to give it too much information up front. So let's see what it gives me now, and then because if I just do cable row seated, like if I say 8 and 100, yeah, there isn't much to do here. That's fine. We'll accept what we have here. Great. Not quite what I want, but let's make some edits. I want multiple sets per exercise in a workout where I can mark set the reps, number of reps per set, and edit other details like weight, distance, time based on the exercise. So let's see if it can put all those together and give us something close to it's created workout set. And then I want to be able to mark the set as done. And this is what it kind of feels like, because I want, some modifications in an app that already exists. So that's more accommodated to how I want to use it. Obviously, the app creators are not gonna make the change that I personally want. So I feel like, when Carl Sagan said, if you want to create apple pie from scratch, or if you want to make apple pie from scratch, you must first create the universe. Because like from scratch means you got to start from nothing, and you need the universe first before you can make apple pie. And it seems like, we're trying to put together a universe before I can mold it to my preferences of how I want things to work. But definitely I'm not enjoying streaming this. I'll tell you that. Like if I was coding, figuring things out, that feels like I'm adding something to the world. And I think even doing this with Mary, I felt like at least like as a non-experienced coder, having Mary learn how to lean into, AI prompting or precise prompting, as I'm trying to label this technique now. I thought that was useful, right? Or like not that it was useful, but I thought that was great. Like that was a good experience for me because I feel like doing this, I have something to offer. But I just don't know what I'm offering here, to be honest. Like this is not like I would do this off stream, and that's fine. That's very useful, very targeted, great, no problem. But even without viewers or what have you, like just thinking about it does not seem engaging at all to me. Yeah, like at least if I was coding, I'd be like, hey, let me figure this out, let me do that, and that, yeah, whatever. It's not. Is it the best thing in the world? No, but is it at least not like hideous? Yeah, it's not hideous. Is this hideous? Debatable, but at first set. Now, even when I told it the last time to like use db migrate, it's like no. It's like no. Screw yourself. I'm just gonna do this straight up. So that's fairly frustrating. And then this doesn't work. So I'm curious what approach I should take. I guess I need to be, I'm going to try again. I'm going to try again from scratch. Because I don't like any of this. So let's get rid of all of it. Let's remove the development DB. Let's DB migrate to recreate the development DB. And let's start the server. And now we're back to where we were like 30 minutes ago. That's fine. Yeah. Full day. So now we're just creating a workout that does nothing. That's fine. That's okay. Maybe if I tell it for each category of exercise, also store the type of sets it will have. For example, if the category is duration, the set will record time. Barbell, dumbbell will record weight and reps. Assisted body weight will record negative weight and reps. And then maybe I'll give it one more example. Cardio. Cardio will record distance and time. Just store the associations, hard code. The associations in the code don't do anything else. And at least now, maybe this gives it some better direction on how to build out the sets when we get there without doing too much. But also I realize I need to be even more strict in my prompting so that it doesn't do too much. So now it's making some guesses on what it is. And this is nice. This is kind of what I would have done maybe. assisted body weight needs to be negative, but okay, fine. And we'll ask it to commit even what little it's done thus far. And now we'll ask it to give us the ability to add an exercise to a workout, but we won't. We'll say just associate an exercise with a workout and don't worry about the sets or any other details. Now I want the ability to add exercises to a workout. Don't worry about the exercise details. Just make the association. And let's see if it's able to reel itself in. Before I do this, take a look at the package. Just so it knows about the DB migrations, because that bothered me a few times. So now it has noticed. And now is it continuing with the to-dos? It is. And now it's just making, hopefully, the workout association and not doing too much beyond that. And scanning the code here, it doesn't seem like it's doing too much beyond that, and hopefully just hyper limited. So I'm here. I don't see a way to. Yeah, you didn't want to make those changes for me. You didn't want to. So let's restart. And I still don't see a way for me to do that. So unfortunately, I also lost my home button, which is frustrating. It served me right to kind of queue up prompts. I don't see how I can add exercises to the workout through the UI. Yeah, a workout detail page. And then add exercise management to it. That sounds good. I would have thought that you would have done it here, but I should have been a little bit more attentive in my scanning of this to note that really it stopped by creating the backend endpoints. Look, it's just silence here, was it? Because like at some point, like I think if you're maybe working with someone else, you can have a discussion. You can chit chat. But I guess when I'm alone, I can talk to what I'm doing, like I'm thinking, or I can talk to what I'm typing in terms of coding. But when I'm watching it happen, like I don't want to narrate. I feel like someone who's announcing like a soccer game or something. It's like, oh, it's done this. I don't know. It's someone who doesn't care about soccer announcing a soccer game. Not that I don't care about the code. It's just like I don't know how much I care about the implementation details. Let's see if it's able to see the button through the screenshot and know what the problem is. The button is squished. Can I fix it? Will it know? It's given it a height of 12. Which I don't know what that does. You sure you don't want to give it a width? Do you even see the screenshot, bro? And I don't know why this is happening. Is it because I didn't build enough context to let it know that it was using prime view and that it should? Honestly, it's not even clear that it's in the right place here either. Because I mean, is this a H12? At this point, I'm like, it doesn't matter. I just care about adding exercises. So let me go back here. Let me go here and see if I can get exercises in the database. Fantastic. Now I go here. I should be able to click here and see these options and click on the assisted dip machine and have it added. So at least now this is working. You know, like 1 hour ago, we were at a point where this just was not even working either. So at least that is working. So I'm happy to tell it to commit even with whatever that is. And then maybe we can fix the buttons later. For now, at least that association is being made, and I'm happy with that. And now, because I've given it some set associations, should I be able to tell? I think because I was like, hey, don't worry about blah, 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 it even did like way less. Because just make the association, I think it interpret that as just the database association, not even the UI. Now I want the ability to add sets to exercises in a workout. And the set should store the details based on the type of, based on the category of exercise. So the category of the exercise, and then should, some extra detail here, also store whether the set was completed. And here, I'm hoping that it's able to do the UI. So that it's able to do all of this. And then I should be able to add sets here and store whether they were done or not. And then what? That's a good starting point at the very least. And I should be able to complete the workout. I do want to be able to rearrange the exercises in a workout. I want the timer to start when the workout starts, so like a play button on the workout. Some basic functionality as would be present here. See that timer there is the time, the exercise. And I will actually have to make some modifications because I want like wait time after every set. And I'll just default it to 90 seconds because that's what I do now, and not even make that editable to begin. I mean, I do 2 minutes, 90 seconds to 2 minutes, depending on the exercise, depending on how tired I am, etc., etc. But for now, we'll just we'll go simple. And at the very least, this is a starting point. We'll see how much I can get done maybe in the next half an hour, 45 minutes. We'll give it for this session. And then I'll probably just, yeah, like I thought maybe I'll do this as in a non-plif session, but it's just, I don't know why I would stream this. Yeah, like what am I saying? Oh, look, it's created a ref. That's so, I mean, not even just from a perspective of like viewing content, but just even, again, like it's just not in my heart to narrate this play-by-play here. Just definitely not fun at all. I kind of feel like saying this kind of, it brings out the true me. Like I'm not trying to make anyone laugh. I'm actually happy to say nothing, to be honest. So let's see. We have this error because it's not running DB migrations for us. It's refusing to run them. So we'll have to run them ourselves. Whoops. I see why that's happening. It's just I didn't know that shortcut did that. We could simplify the UI. I'm okay with this for now. We could definitely, this should just be an add button. Like, why isn't the button here? Why are you telling me things? Just give me an add set button. I know what to do. So let's add a set. That's fine. So we're getting a similar error that we were getting a few cycles ago. Here I have run this. It did create this, so that at least is verified. And then maybe I can give it this. I actually don't know how helpful that would be. Let's maybe dig into here. Response. Getting this error when I try to add a set to a workout. And now if it gives me an error saying, hey, like your context is too big for 1332 megs, I might just quit the stream immediately. Yeah, and I mean, the interesting part of it is when it's this deep into an app that I haven't created, the code that I'm not familiar with, I'm not at all motivated to go in and edit the code and figure things out. That could be interesting, but it's just not. I'm saying that now, and it's it's giving me the exact same error again. I'm just gonna paste the error in, not give it any details. But yeah, like it's a bit weird. I'm trying to wonder what might have been helpful for this experience to be better for me. I'm not entirely sure. So we have the set create again. Not sure if it's the exact same error, but definitely seems like it. Just for completeness sake, I'm a bit perplexed because this isn't that complicated, I think I've asked it to do. Like, I don't know if it can do this, but I'm asking it to start the server and try on its own. And now it's running the database migration. Thanks. Thanks a lot, bro. And maybe now it can properly debug what's happening. This stuff is pretty cool, where it's trying to build context about the actual data in your application. It's looking in the database, it's trying to see like, where can I help? It's adding console.log debugging output, which I think it should be able to read in the shell. I don't know if that's where they go. It's trying to trigger the issue by making the TRPC call because it can't access the browser directly. Although that would be something, right? Like, is this really the error? I mean, in the last few cycles that we tried to debug this issue, it it said it was doing it. So now it seems like it's done it here. The spacing is way off. This is super interesting as well. The flashes are great. This is loading exercise. That's fine. Delete a set. That's cool. Let's add another set. Add another set. Okay, that works. It's assisted, so I can add negative. I'm trying to see, for example, if I press up here, that's fine. If I press up here, it does go up. Can I just say 10 and then tab out? Will it try and save it? Okay, that's pretty cool. It's trying to save it. Of course, it's failing. And maybe I can tell it that here. Getting errors when I update the set. I mean, spacing issues aside, this is kind of what I wanted to get to. Like, a workout app actually does seem simple, but it's actually fairly involved in all the little nuances and details. So here, I definitely want a wait time, and then when it's done, it should trigger the timer. But I don't want to get into all of that right now. I do want to hyper focus on getting some basic functionality in. Being able to rearrange this by click and drag, even though that doesn't sound basic, it is kind of one of my, like, I need it. because then I can also introduce the concept of active and inactive, and then drag an exercise into inactive or mark it inactive. Either way is fine. Dragging seems very natural. Okay, so it says it's fixed now. That's what it seems like. It does seem to refresh. So there's some kind of weird bug where, like, when I do this and I tab out and then I refresh, that's nice. So all of it is saving. I'm going to ask it to commit while I think about my next prompt. So certainly I want to be able to rearrange the exercises. And that's really important. Even say you're at a gym and you want to do bicep curl and the machine's not available. So like, okay, fine, I'll do the cable pull through first. And could you have just done this and have your sets here? Absolutely. But it's nicer to be able to rearrange. Although maybe that's not where I'll begin. Okay, it's fine. Seems like it stopped the server. So I'll start it over here. And now maybe this will work. Okay, great. Works, works, works. It doesn't ask for confirmation. And then when I add an exercise, I want a starting set. So I'll do that now. When I add an exercise to a workout, I want a starting set already there. So with that is functional, I can ask it to, give me a, are you sure thing. So now when I add an exercise, app crunch, close, it has a set. Amazing. Another sort of feature of a workout app that's super important is, for example, if I was to complete this workout and do the next workout, and I want to use the same template, like I want to redo this workout, so there would have to be a redo button somewhere. And then it should obviously remember the weights and reps from my last performance. So this does it quite well here. We'll go 40 pounds times 10 reps. So then I kind of like, oh, I did 40 last time. It's pre-populated. And then I can also change it this time based on what I had done before. Okay. So now you are doing that. Great. I'll ask you to commit. And then now I'm going to ask it when I delete an exercise from a workout, I want an are you sure dialogue. What else? So now I think I can do the click and drag. And then after the click and drag, I can introduce the concept of active and inactive. And then I can do the replay, which is really important. And at the end, I can just be like, hey, take the screenshot and be like, hey, make it look like this, please. I'm not going to do that, of course. But I might play around with it. Okay, this is perfect. Great. Let's commit. And so now I want to add an exercise, add a bunch. I do like that I can add a bunch really quickly. So let's say this is my thing, and now I want to be able to click and drag in a workout, I want to be able to click and drag and reorder the exercises. This is, don't get me wrong, this is a lot of progress for, a couple hours. Creating the database models, we've created some basic UIs, etc., etc. So it ain't nothing. It's just I'd rather just do this at home. And be playing chess on the side and not be worried about like, hey, I'm letting nothing happen. I'm just completing my chess game before I get back to it. That seems like a much more pleasant experience versus being like, hey, I'm on stream and like, why am I playing chess? Why am I waiting to complete the chess before I get back? What a waste of time, etc., etc. So now I can click and drag the exercises. Can I? Fantastic. That's exciting. Do I love the UI of how that happened? Absolutely not. Did it work? I want to get cable crunch to be number 5 and bicep curl should be number 3. Perfect. Let's commit. It knows what to do, even though I misspelt. So next, I want to get the concept of an active and inactive exercise. Although the clicking and dragging might not have much to do with it, but definitely an inactive exercise should be at the bottom, below everything else. I want to add a concept of active and inactive exercises in a workout. If I mark an exercise as inactive, move it to the bottom and gray it out. And maybe next time I'll give it the instruction that I should be able to drag an exercise into an inactive area at the bottom in order to deactivate it. So this is quite nice. At least I feel like, just in terms of progress, I feel like, hey, I'm kind of getting to that concept that I wanted. And again, we could have been distracted, apart from the errors that happen and then the experimentation with the detail in the prompt. We could have been distracted by some shinier features like timers and so forth, so on. But like, this is the key. This right here. This is what I want to get to. Everything else is necessary, actually. Like, I need the weight timers. I need all that. But if I can't validate this first, then what's the point of like any other detail? What am I validating in my heart? And it may turn out that I use this and I'm like, the active inactive concept, what a waste. Then would it not have been a greater waste to complete the workout app and then do inactive active? I wonder if it'll run the DB migrations for me. I guess I'll ask it to. If it doesn't, and then maybe the next time it'll continue doing it. Run the migrations for me, please. I just say PNP. I don't even say use PNPM. I just say PNPM. Because here it's telling me to use NPM. So let's see if it's done this part successfully. This is fine. What happens if I click and drag something over here? So it's done a good job of kind of not being able to do that. So we can commit and then now ask it to be able to drag something into an inactive area. I want to be able to drag exercises to the bottom into an inactive area, and that should mark them as inactive. Let's start there because I do want to be able to drag an exercise from inactive to active to make it active. And what this does for me conceptually, and I can kind of describe here very concretely what, like how I like this and why I need this, is because, like I said, like, you know, if I don't see it, it doesn't exist. And let's say I didn't do bicep curls because the machine wasn't there or whatever. I had to end my workout early because I got a call from, you know, so-and-so, and they need such and such in the so-and-so. Then I can just end my workout, and instead of discarding or completing unfinished sets, they just become inactive. I didn't do them. And then the next time when I come and replay this workout, this is available to me. And I go, I didn't do the bicep curls last time. Let me activate it and do it this time. And whatever, vice versa, and so on. So now let's see if that works. Should I be able to click and drag this here? And now it's made it inactive. That's cool. And can I bring this back up here and will it activate it? Did it do that? No. Let's commit. I should also be able to drag an inactive exercise back up to activate it. Add a separation. I know there's a word for it, like a, I'm just gonna say bar. And I'll let it hopefully be able to, you know, figure out what I want, like a bar here. And then if I drag anything below it, it's inactive. If I drag anything above it, it's active. And that concept is really the driving force here. Although the active inactive does the job, really for me as I'm working out, is just like on my phone, just being like, okay, up, down, up, down, up, down. Okay, great. Because the visual aspect of it is actually super important to me. With the separation bar, let's see how it, you know, how it imagines it. I'm so curious. And okay, yeah, that's not so bad. No, I don't like that. It's not bad. I just not what I envision. Because what I want is to be able to drag this up here, and because I'm above some line, it's, you know, it's activated. I drag this to the bottom here, below this line, and it's deactivated. That's kind of what I want. I don't know if it'll be able to do that for me. And maybe I'm thinking, hey, like, this is good enough, even though in my heart I want that other thing. You can see, like, I want to drag it up here. Like, I don't like this because it's like, oh, I got to go all the way down here. Ugh. But for now, fail to deactivate. Okay, that's interesting. So let's see if I can't. So it can't fix that bug. So we have active, deactive. And the next thing I kind of want to do is store progression and be able to create a new workout based on this workout. So like duplicate the workout. And like I won't maybe give this instruction up front, but I will add weights to all of these. And I'll mark some of these as, completed. But when I duplicate the workout, I want the weights to remain, but everything else to be pending. And I'm hoping that it is able to figure out my intent there. It wants my help. So let's give it that. So here we go. We got an active exercise. We only got one now. So let me just activate some other. Failed to reactivate. Okay, good. Just maybe give it that, and hopefully that's enough. And hopefully that is the error. Okay. So when it does that, yeah, so I want to update the state of the workout. Although eventually, like I'll want to have a play workout, the timer begins for the workout, finish workout, everything gets auto inactivated and all that. But for now, just for my like ongoing usage purpose, I care more about creating a new workout from this workout. So I don't want templates, right? I just want workouts, add stuff to them. I might remove some stuff as well, maybe. And then I create a workout from a previous workout. Eventually there might be templates, but they're just not even necessary in terms of how I'm thinking about it. So let's reactivate. Fantastic. And let's deactivate. Really don't like that experience at all. But we'll commit, and then I will go ahead and add, like, make this 10 pounds, make this, 20 pounds, activate some exercises here, just, along the line, 30 pounds, 8, 9, 10, I'll complete. Okay, I like the green. And I'll leave these as deactivated. This one is pending. That's fine. Not a big deal for now. And so now I want the ability to duplicate a workout. I don't know why I told it that. So that I could do it the next time. And hopefully it knows to reset the sets. And if it doesn't, we'll give it that instruction and we'll take it from there. I would expect maybe a duplicate button here, maybe here, but let's see. I'm happy to accept whatever the AI offers. I wonder what it was about one of the previous sessions where it said, hey, the 419, the 413 error code, and about how the size of the context where like it does this kind of a thing where it'll compact the conversation so it still has some idea of how we got here. Okay, great. So now we have a duplicate workout. Let's see if we have one here. We don't. No problem. This seems like a better place, of course. I don't want pull day copy. I think if it just says pull day again, that's fine. And now I can, maybe I want the time displayed here as well. So now the exercises are done here, but it's unclear to me which one's the new one. This is the new one. And that makes sense. The new one's going to be on top, of course. And it's done the right thing. It's maintained and copied the sets as they were. So I was like, oh, maybe I did 30 last time, so I'm going to do 35 this time. Okay, that's great. That's actually wonderful. And then the inactive exercises are inactive. So like if I started this workout, I scroll down, I'm like, cable pull-throughs. I didn't do them last time. Let me do them now. Fantastic. Okay, so I'll commit that and I'll think about maybe some minor details about the UI that I want to improve. Now that I've kind of really validated that, the flow here, I do really want kind of this bar. If I drag anything above it, it's active. And if I drag anything below it, it's inactive versus this like drop area, which I don't like. So that's one thing. But I think what's even more important than that is being able to see the weight and the reps. I want to be able to see the weight and the reps on an exercise set based on the last time I did that exercise. Let's see if that it interprets that correctly. I'm mildly doubtful, but it'd be nice if it did get it. It seems like it's, it says add indicator for previous weights and reps, handle cases with no previous data exist. So it seems like it's going to do the right thing. And again, we don't talk about the code. Though when I am using Claude Code for work, I will look at the code because I care about that code. Here, the code is less important to me in an app like this. Versus for work, I need to be able to think about scalability, think about a bunch of other details. But here, not a big deal. As long as it's mostly functioning and I don't have to worry about it. It seems to be doing something here. I like how it's also considering like all the cases, like when it's just reps or when it's just distance and so on. Okay. I mean, our friends here at um, Strong App have done it this way in this very condensed, highly designed manner. And our friend AI has spit it out like this, which I don't mind at all, honestly. Like it's fine. I don't like the the lack of alignment there, but that's fine. If it's able to show me the 35 pounds and the 30 pounds from last time, that's all I really need. And then, we get into things like when I tap an exercise, I should be able to see the history of the exercise and my progression and weights for that exercise, and so forth, so on. But even like not having that, I rarely ever use that functionality. It's truly a nice to have for me. I'm sure other people, it might be a necessary feature. Um, this is fine. I don't know how I feel about this line, but really, this is nice. So let's see here. I never did it. I never completed it. So just for, let's complete this. And then go back and duplicate. And I guess I will keep one here so I can understand, given the lack of that. And then I should see a 25, 25. Great. And then now I can be like, okay, I want 30 this time. And now I see the 30 and 25. Perfect. Let's commit this. And I'll maybe add a few more features. Maybe we'll do another 15, 20 minutes. I think what's I'm missing now that I see this, even though I said I wanted to do some UI bits, I actually want to add more functionality, even beyond this. Like this bothers me, but I really want the experience of if, for example, I do this, it deactivates the rest when I complete the workout. So now I want the ability to start a workout and finish. Maybe this is too much, but let's see. They are fairly related, but I don't know. For me, it's also just trying to see how it handles it. Workout session fields. So started at, finished at, yeah. And now there's a status as well. That's cool. And I do want to see a count up timer for how long the workout's taken. But before we get to that, I wanted to auto deactivate exercises that I did not do. It's converted back to NPM for some reason. I mean, it should run, but still. Despite my lack of enthusiasm, this is very nice. This is the experience I kind of want, even with the errors and the issues. Some tightness in the design would have been nice here, but we never really gave it any indications. But there's a lot of reworking in the design that can be done bit by bit later. Because I feel like if I told it to like, hey, an app like the strong app, even though it said it doesn't know, I think it knows. And then definitely if I gave it a screenshot, that it would have been, the UI would have been much tighter, more aesthetic, let's just say. Okay, yeah. So it's doing the work here on the overall workout pages to show us the status, although it doesn't care about alignment at all. And they're planned until they're started, I suppose. I'm glad I've really strayed true to my. I'm not going to take a look at the code to see what's happening here. Okay, so let's test this out. What happens when I start? Let's go ahead and start this workout, this number 1. So it's in progress. There's no timer. If I go back here, still in progress, click through, and now I have finish workout. And when I click finish workout, let's say I do actually complete a bunch of these, and one of them I leave not completed. If I finish workout, it's telling me the start time and end time. It's not telling me time taken, for example. And it shows completed. That's pretty good. Is it great? No, absolutely not. Is it pretty good? Yeah, it's not bad. So now I want to duplicate this workout and maybe call it 2. Definitely later on, I want to remove that copy thing and just let the timestamp be the differentiating factor, not the name. It's because I don't care about, like, the name should be the same. There's no pull day 2, there's only pull day. So let's start this workout and let's complete these 2 sets here. Let's add another set here and complete it. Now, there is the case of what happens if I've added, like I said here, and not completed it, of course. There's also this, when I add a set, I kind of wanted to copy from previous set. That's fine though. So now if I complete without having completed this set, what does that mean? Let's see if this delete functionality works. I never tested that. Okay, so now when I finish a workout, I want any exercises that I did not start to be automatically marked inactive. When I finish a workout, I want any exercises that I didn't do, didn't start, to be automatically inactivated, deactivated, whatever. You know what I'm saying. Okay. I'm actually scrolling up not to read the code, but to read these like middle update it's giving. Okay, let's see. So now I have a workout and I have cable crunch, and cable pull through should be deactivated. This is great. That notification is awesome. And it did do it. And now when I go back and I create workout number 3, as expected, I should see these 2 active and these 2 inactive. Amazing. Exactly what I want, not in terms of maybe the aesthetics of the UI, but the flow and the functionality. Like that's what I miss, right? Now I feel like, okay, great. Now I have this very fluid workout that also behaves as a template. So I don't need to create a template for this. This is the group of, pull day exercises that I want to do. And now just because I didn't do this exercise doesn't mean it's lost to me, which is fantastic. And I don't care if there's like 30 exercises in the inactive section. I can easily scroll and just say, oh, I did this. I didn't do this. I like this. I don't like this. And if I don't like it, I guess I'll remove it entirely. And then that's great. Then it's gone. If I don't like it, it's out of here, and then out of my template. And then typically, I'm not going all the way back here for a pull data duplicate. I'm duplicating the latest one. So progressively, I kind of have the latest version of what I like. So now maybe I can take a look at this thing. So, okay. I don't like having to drag exercises into a specific droppable area. I want a separation bar. If I drag exercises below that bar, they should be inactive. If I drag exercises above the bar, they should be active. That's kind of the simplicity I want in this. Actually, this like it's odd because it is important to me for some reason in the use, because the Strong app does have that drag and reorder feature, which just connects with me better than kind of active inactive, right? And then I also like the idea of being forced to kind of go down here and look at the other exercises, not just active, inactive, and that. So the reminder is very obvious. You're in that area. And then maybe as the last thing, I'll give like trying to fix the button width. It seems to me like a natural thing that should just work out of the box. But I don't think it opened the right box. So I might cheat here a little bit about implementation and just have to look at the documentation for buttons, because it might not be using the proper fields. Now, the change of asset to do here is actually fairly significant, all in all. So it should be interesting to see how it handled it without, breaking anything and still being cohesive overall. I do like how it's linting every time. It's very nice. I don't know how I feel about it auto committing. Bro, what are you doing? What are you doing? Has it been auto committing all this time? Let me close this to give me more space. And now when I pull this exercise below, will it work? Cool. What if I pull all of them below? And now the amount of precision I need to bring app crunch into active state. Yeah, that's a little, let's fix that. When all the exercises are inactive there, and I drag the exercise above the line, it doesn't become active. Spacing issue? Question mark. When there are no active exercises, we'll never. So this, it's not a spacing issue, turns out. And I did something that I don't like when other people do, which is like speculate. Although here, I mean, yeah, because at least I'm glad the AI has the wherewithal to be like, hey, your speculation suggestion, I'm not going to look at it. What are you even talking about? I know what the bug is. Although here now it seems to be circling on trying to fix this. And it might have broken itself. No, okay, it's trying to figure it out. Uh, I've seen this issue a few times now, not just here with Claude Code, but also with Replit, where it just won't close divs or tags, right? It'll create an HTML element and not close the tag. And I don't know what it is about AIs. They're like, nah, I just don't want to close the tag. And then it cycles through. I wonder in a way whether AI companies kind of know our tolerance when we use AIs. Like that error happens, and I'm like, ugh. But look at all these other lines of code you did for me. So, you miss a diff tag here or there or whatever. But in order to fix this diff tag, you need to use more tokens. So is it not advantageous for these AI companies to not give you the right code up front so that you need to use more tokens in order to fix the bugs that they give you up front? Something to think about. And now it has a drop here to activate, which is kind of using that dropping area. I'm going to just refresh just in case and bring it up here. And that did not seem to work at all. I don't see any errors either. So let's try and bring up number 2. It says it's active and reordered, but it does not seem like that is the case. So cable crunch is number 1. I want to make cable crunch number 2. It is inactive and reordered. Great. Now it should be active. Let's try and take a look at the network to see if it's actually trying. And maybe I can give it that bit of detail. This is now inactive and reordered. So if I drag the first inactive into the active droppable, it doesn't even send a network request. If I drag the second inactive into the active droppable, it does send the request, but doesn't activate. . Yeah. So it's found two issues. And if we're lucky, it's going to fix them both. And it's just committing. It's auto committing now. It doesn't care. See, my plan was to test something, ask for changes, and only commit once it was functional, just so I could revert back to a working copy of the app. But it doesn't care. So let's try that now, where we take the first item and try to activate it. And that worked. Let's deactivate it again. And that worked. And now let's take the second item and activate it. And that worked. Fantastic. I don't have to ask it to commit because it already has. Now let's just test the other edge case where bit by bit this is so cool. This is so nice. And we do this, and now did it cover the other case? This is totally wrong, right? Like I have exercises, so it's not correct. When all the exercises are active, it shows at the bottom, but it should show up bar and allow me to drag exercises into inactive. I think one of the things for me to think about broadly is the value of doing basic coding streams in an AI world where AI is able to do like this much. Because there's really no way I could do all this work in an hour and a half or 2 hours and a half or whatever. I mean, I could come pretty close, mind you. But it's just it's able to do a lot more. And I'm trying to think, where the balance lies and what value is it to do just coding streams. I'm not saying there isn't. I enjoy it. But I'm wondering how that changes over time. And then I think even in that context, I'm wondering where AI would be helpful. Definitely asking it to create test data is super helpful. Like there's, I'm happy to wait for that, or maybe do some other feature or coding while it's creating test data for me. Super useful. Ask it to write scripts in order to do that kind of thing as well, like automate certain things while I'm actually building a feature. That seems fine to do on a stream, because at least I have something to do that's active while the AI is kind of assisting me, but just in the background, not in the foreground. Yeah. Yeah. it's compacting the conversation. I wonder if it's done the work, and the work I asked it to do was this. Sweet. Will it auto commit? Let's just try if reordering still works. Okay, we'll pull through. Can I make it the first one? Great. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to call it a day, but I did say, hey, after we do the drag and drop thing, which is done. I think this is really the inactive thing is exactly what I described, that avoids this idea of like, complete unfinished sets. Like, why do I get it though? Like, I think let's say I did the whole workout, and instead of marking my last set complete, I just press finish because I'm like, I'm done. Don't worry about it. And then it should mark it for me. But if I have like half my workout incomplete or an entire exercise incomplete, I definitely don't want to finish the sets, and I don't want to discard them. Like, you're giving me two options that I do not want. And this interface does exactly what I want now. It allows me to activate and inactivate, allows me to visualize the exercise that I did before, know what I didn't do before, etc., etc. And when I press finish, it takes care of it. Now, there are edge cases, of course. And then there's UI issues, of course. But we'll get to that bit by bit by bit until this is fluid. And then there's also the case where I want this to work on a phone. And so this interface needs to be very nice, spaced out properly, and so on. So making this mobile friendly is an act that needs to happen. But yeah, I can't, unless I figure out this chess thing, I can't imagine doing this on stream. There's just no joy of streaming this. There's definitely the joy of doing it and getting a result. So I don't want to, I do want to separate those things. What did I ask you to do last before I started yapping? To fix this drag and drop thing, and it has. And did it commit this time? It did not. It's like, hey, I'm going to commit when I want to. So we'll ask it to commit. And then I'm going to test my hypothesis, which is this a result of improper button usage? And so maybe what I'll just tell it is to say, hey, go look at the docs for Prime View button. For Prime View button, and review if we're using them correctly. And maybe it's able to detect a problem there, if it exists. Maybe there is no problem, and then we'll have to just ask it specifically to fix things. I also think this is pretty cool. Its ability to search the web, filter through the results, and find relevant things, as you would expect a good developer to do. I just wonder why it went through all of that, given that it visited this URL, primeview.org/button. It seems like this is exactly this, even with the same thing. So like, why did it spin on that? I wonder. So it doesn't seem like it's found any inconsistencies up front. I feel like it would have said something. It seems like it's struggling getting the Prime View documentation. Well, that was an unsuccessful exercise. I really would have thought that it would. Okay, no, wait. Somebody's use label prop, other use slot content. Use label prop, please. I think that was the issue with the button condensedness. Because the slot in the prime view button works weirdly, I'll say. And then I've spent about 3 hours on this, and I think the prototype we've built here is very valuable for testing purposes and figuring things out purposes, getting a sense of it. Obviously, it's not entirely testable per se, but it is kind of giving me the sense what I need to be able to do in order to use this in field is to one have the actual exercises that I use and not just fake generated exercises. And then not much else, I don't think. Like it has to fit on the phone, because when I'm in the gym, I'm on the phone. When I'm here, I'm here. When I was working out from home, then not having to use my phone would have been amazing, right? Because then I would just, do my exercise over there, come back, update, exercise, update, exercise, update. We will need to add some features like the wait time between sets is very important. But then not much else, right? I do this, I press, do this, yay, add more things. Okay, great. Do that exercise next. So like we're very close to having a basic usability flow. So mobile view and then timer between sets. And the rest of the functionality can come bit by bit. Even the okay, so it has fixed the buttons. Fantastic. And then the right, so timer between sets, or timeout after set, not between. So even there should be a timer even after the last set. And then a mobile view is really what I want to do. I guess just on the experience, I wonder if, if maybe I would have felt differently about this process if there was like a viewership and I'm interacting with, if there's comments, I'm interacting with that. That would be fine, because at least I'm doing something during the wait time that doesn't feel like I'm just narrating what the AI is doing. I'm okay to narrate what I'm doing, because at least I'm explaining my thinking process, but no desire to narrate what the AI is doing, unless it's novel, right? But otherwise, this feels pretty good to me. Obviously, I want to be able to get back here. I want to also be able to test all the exercises, at least all the exercise types, right? So I want to be able to test whether it works properly here, add a timer, like not just timer between sets or after sets, but, like a countdown. Because if I say 5 minutes, it should be like beep, beep at the 5-minute mark. So I know that I'm done my plank. I don't plank for 5 minutes, 30 seconds, 15 seconds. Okay, I think that's it. I'm fairly thrilled with what we have here. Fairly thrilled with the active inactive business. Fairly thrilled with the drag and drop business. Thrilled with start and finish workout and that being corrected. So yeah, like I said, very close to usage. And then the rest of it is kind of making it feel nicer, making it feel more fluid, and making sure that it doesn't break. Like I said, there's a bunch of features. If I'm doing one leg at a time, I want to be able to record that properly, et cetera, et cetera. But again, once the basic feature set is done, I'm fairly happy. Okay. Thanks for joining me on this session of Product Like It's Friday. A solo session of Product Like It's Friday where I was silent throughout, through half the thing, which is what it's the last thing I want, but it felt so natural to be silent that I couldn't help it. I think it's also my natural state when there aren't other people around. All right, so I don't think I'm going to do an in-between, not an in-between, but even like a non-PLIF session continuing with this. It's going to be done at home. And then we will see you the next time in a PLIF session, unless I decide to work on the Vim book again. Unlikely at this point. So it's just going to be PLIF.